Welcome back, everyone. In this video, I'm excited to share a detailed solution for fixing leaking shocks, a problem I faced myself. After inspecting my shocks, I discovered that 3 of them were leaking, while only 1 was functioning properly. Instead of just addressing the problematic ones, I decided to overhaul all 4 for optimal performance. My first step was to increase the number of O-rings in each shock from 2 to 3. Upon disassembling the shocks, I noted the original configuration and believed that adding an extra O-ring would eliminate the leaks. However, to my disappointment, this approach didn't yield the results I had hoped for. After some contemplation, I devised an innovative alternative, utilizing a silicone rubber phone case. The unique rubbery material seemed to be precisely the fix I needed. Here's the process. Start by sourcing a silicone rubber phone case that has the ideal thickness for your setup, which I will demonstrate in just a moment. Next, gather a pair of specific pliers, punch hole pliers, often used in leather crafting. These are excellent for creating holes with precision, and they'll come in handy for this project. As you begin crafting the holes, be prepared to experiment with various sizes. During my trial, I tested 4 different hole sizes. The first attempt resulted in a hole that was far too wide, while the second didn't quite secure the fit either. It wasn't until my third trial that I finally pinpointed a hole size that was snug enough to effectively halt any oil leakage. I did briefly consider trying a smaller hole for an even better seal, but that backfired since the silicone stretched excessively and compromised the integrity of the seal. Thus, the essential takeaway is to find a hole that fits snugly but isn't overly tight. For my specific needs, the perfect thickness turned out to be precisely 4 millimeters. So let's proceed to create our first hole. Follow these simple yet crucial steps. Create the hole in the silicone, applying firm pressure as you do. Once you hear a satisfying click, rotate the silicone back and forth until you feel it loosening. This means you've successfully crafted the ideal hole size. After releasing the pliers, make sure to check if the silicone separates cleanly. If there are any stubborn bits of silicone sticking around, take the time to remove them thoroughly. This will ensure a clean finish. Next, use scissors to trim any excess silicone material. You'll notice that with a little trimming, you'll achieve a near-perfect hole. For any particularly stubborn edges, I recommend utilizing a nail cutter. Its unique U-shape is fantastic for shaping the silicone into a precise circle. Once you've trimmed everything to your satisfaction, take the silicone and rub it gently against a nail file to refine its shape further. Don't rush this step. Precision is key to achieving a flawless result. This method is guaranteed to resolve your leaking shock issue seamlessly. Take a look. I applied oil to the shaft, and as I pushed the silicone insert upward, you'll observe that no oil escapes onto the lower shaft. At this moment, any potential leakage should be minimal. This is your assurance that you've successfully achieved the correct hole size. Now it's time to put everything back together by reassembling the original O-rings that came with the shock. Begin by placing the first original O-ring into its designated position. Followed by inserting your custom silicone insert as the second component. Finally, place the second original O-ring to create a robust seal that effectively prevents any shock oil from leaking out. Just follow my lead, and you're bound to get this right. It's essential to ensure that this O-ring is no larger than the other O-rings you're working with. The fit should be snug but not overly tight, so it matches the exact dimensions of the existing O-rings. This precision is vital for achieving the best performance. Once you have the O-ring in place, the next step is to carefully reattach the stopper that secures the O-rings. This stopper is crucial as it holds the O-rings in a fixed position, preventing any unnecessary movement. To confirm the fit, gently push the assembly up and down. If you feel resistance or tightness, you'll need to reassess the size of the silicone you're using. After confirming the fit, it's time to add the oil. Use clean oil that is free of air bubbles, as air can negatively impact performance. Fill the assembly with just the right amount of oil. This is important for smooth operation. A key technique to confirm and ensure zero oil leakage is to perform a maneuver where you push the shaft up and down roughly 50 times. In addition, run your finger along the shock shaft to assess the oil coverage. You should aim for a subtle sheen, indicating that you've created the perfect seal. Not so much that it drips, but enough to give a polished, shiny appearance on your finger. My approach to this solution was informed by reviewing the manual, which highlighted an additional component that was not included in the original shocks. Paying close attention to these details is essential for achieving optimal functionality and performance. If you know any RC friends who might be dealing with similar issues, it would be great if you could share this with them. Thank you for taking the time to watch. If you found this video helpful or insightful, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe and give it a like. Your support means a lot.